Morning, Denise Dryden out here on Bainbridge Island, bringing you the weekly Sunday morning video. So whenever you're watching it, know that I'm sitting outside in this beautiful sunny day. The birds are chirping. You can see all the big cedar trees behind me. It's fabulous to sit out here. So over the last couple weeks, I've talked to you about, like, what are you feeling? Do you feel like life is rocking you around? Do you feel a lot of pressure, or is there some reactivity inside of you? And it's been like this for about a month and a half. And I don't think it's going to get any easier in the month of July, because there's a lot of things going on the astrological, in the astrological realms, in the energy of what's going on in our country. And so I've been trying to introduce a little bit of energy perspectives into these talks and then sort of weave them together. So I'm going to continue to just keep poking at that. What are you feeling? Are you feeling agitated? Are you feeling reactive? And these are our old wounds being stirred up, and our old wounds aren't going to go away. It's kind of like, I thought I could hide them for a long time, but I haven't been successful at doing that, especially right now. It feels like I'm edgy. People around me are edgy. My brain is in constant trying to figure it out mode. My body's tense. I haven't been able to sleep at night. My relationships are sort of a little not great. And it makes sense when we understand what's going on energetically. So these old behaviors are being triggered, either in ourselves or in those around us. So if they're childhood issues, if they're pains and memories, if they're old wounds, they're going to bring up some raw emotions. And our nature throughout the last, however old we are, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, is to put a cap on it and push it down and go, no, not dealing with that. I can deal with anything else. I've got a busy life, but I'm not dealing with that right now. And so we keep it at bay, and we keep it out of our daily interactions. Makes sense, right? However, it's not going to go away. So how does this impact you directly? Like, what do you do when that's sort of humming on you all the time? So what we know is that if it's impacting you, you might be anxious. You might have some irritation. You might be pensive, a little edgy. You also might be experiencing a lot of frustration or pressures at work, right? That work isn't going as easy as it used to, or relationships aren't going at work aren't going as easy as they used to. It might show up in your relationship with your child, where it's summer vacation and they want more freedom than you're willing to give. It's hard to get them off of screens. It's hard to get them up and out the door to go do something with you. And there's this little edge that exists between you when you push. And then you're like, is this me or is that them? Or what's going on? And what are you going to be able to do about it? So, when we feel this edginess, it starts to show up directly in front of us in all of the significant relationships we have with ourselves and with others. So does it take energy for you to show up with your partner? This is where it can also kind of come in, is that, are you in this, I'm dealing with me and I don't have time for you? Or is it impacting how you interact? Or are you retreating? Or are you getting in their face? Notice that these things are going on, that this is your current reality. So if that's your reality, whether it's a spouse, at work, or with a child, then what can you do about it, right? Wait. I'm watching this video, Denise, so you can tell me what to do about it. And I'm going to say the title of this video is Holding Structure for Freedom. So the answer here, and I'm going to walk you through it, is to go to structure. Go to the strength within yourself and build something where you can string a series of very grounded structural pieces together. So structure, when we define it, is an arrangement, it's an arrangement of, or the relations between parts, usually of elements that are pretty complex. Right? Human beings are complex. Family systems are complex. Work relationships are complex. When we do a foundation, what we do is we come up with the four corners. What are the things that I need in order to anchor in so I can build upon that? Something solid, something real. And who am I and how can I build something solid within myself so that when I set this, everything starts to move? So the first thing that I would suggest is look for ways to connect to yourself. Ground, sink your feet in, breathe. Whether it's, I do this every hour on the hour. I do this at morning. I do this at lunch. I do this at, when I get home from work before I walk in the door. Is that I connect to myself. And I do this as often as I can, all day long. So for me, I ground myself in the morning. I make my tea. I make sure that I don't touch any screens or do anything. And I just sit and take those first, like, I got a huge mug. So the first half of it is just sitting there and going, am I present? Who am I? Are my feet on the ground? So when I can sit down and do this, then I ground myself in. And then I take deep breaths and I say, I'm here. And I imagine a huge taproot of my life just going right straight into the ground so that I'm rock solid. And you can do this in the car. You can do this and you sit at your desk. You can do this before you go to bed at night. But the idea is to create something that's solid, where you know who you are, yet malleable, because, structure doesn't have to be rigid. Structure is just presence. It's there. It's there so that you can trust it. Sort of like, if we go to the foundation of a house, the house can change all the time, but the structure stays the same. Or we can go to the concept of the oxygen mask, which is, I'm going to take care of myself and I'm going to breathe so that I can then look around and assess what's going on and how to take care of the things around me. So, dig in, breathe, relax, hold gently. Dig in, breathe, relax, hold gently. That's the first one. Well, and there's a little bit more on that too, which is it gives you an opportunity to be yourself as an individual while the rest of the world is going on. So you create times throughout your day where you strengthen your connection to yourself, and then that gives you that sort of a distance between that's going on out there, and when that's going on out there, that's not mine. I can stay in here and be the observer rather than the one who's in reaction all the time. So when we ground ourselves, it shifts us into internal. Okay, so that's the first one. Number 2, be prepared for to be challenged. When you separate a little bit and you ground yourself, those people that are used to swirling with you are going to go like, wait, where'd you go? Especially kids. No. I'm used to sort of pushing and tipping you off kilter so that you don't make good decisions. You can't ground yourself and show up as a much stronger mom. I don't like this. This new summer mom is not going to be fun. So what you do is you separate yourself from the external world just a little bit each time you ground, and you become the observer so that you can't be as manipulated or reactive as you usually are. And so your colleagues are like, what are you doing? Are you working out? Are you meditating? What's going on? Because you're a lot calmer than you usually are. Your kids are going to push. How solid is she? Mom's pretty easy to bend, and if they push and you stay solid, they go, let's try another tactic. And your partner may feel abandoned. Like, hey, we do the swirl together. We get into crazy together, and now you're sitting over there being calm for a minute, and it's kind of nice because I can lean into you, and at the same time, I feel like you're not really taking care of us anymore. So regardless of how you find this, be prepared to be challenged. Know that you're going to be challenged. When I ground, the outer world's going to put up resistance. So that's the second thing. Know you're going to be challenged. And regardless of where you are, 2, 3, 4, 10 times a day, you ground yourself and you hold for yourself, right? So number 3, be a lovely witness. I love this term. I came up with it from Bethany Webster's work on the mother wound, and it speaks to the importance of just being and being present and witnessing things. So to be stable, to be the someone who can reassure another, to be the someone who sees the big picture, to be the someone who soothes. Now she's talking about this specifically in what happens when we as parents disconnect and we're not present to the child relationship or to ourselves. But if we show up in our strength and we show loving witness, then what we do is we give that child a solid opportunity to go inside themselves. We remove ourselves as being the babysitter, the caretaker of them, and we become the witness of them, and we allow them to grow so that they can trust. So they can trust their inner resources as well as their outer. And I believe that when we are a loving witness, we are versatile. And this is applicable in work. It's applicable in love. It's in our relationships. It's a way to just stand there and say, I'm now breathing better, and I'm going to be a loving witness to what's going on. Number 4, be the rock, be the lighthouse. Be the balance and patience. And so this speaks to that feminine energy of being responsive, kind of like the way a kelp bed will move with the tide, right? But it's still anchored in the bottom, but it has to have some flexibility, and it has to be able to move with things. It just means I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to go this way and this way, but I'm still anchored and I'm not leaving. So we stand tall and we respond with our feet on the ground, and we're adaptive. We're adaptive. We can become much better problem solvers when we have that structure rooted in the ground, right? So that we can move with it. So we stand tall with our child and we be the parent, not their friend. Right? I'm here to teach you how to find your own sense of self this summer. I'm not going to drive you around. I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to keep throwing money at you so that you're not bored. Find something to do this summer. I'm not your friend. Stand tall at work and focus on work, and step away from the drama that gets involved and makes all of the work decisions really sticky. I'm here to work. I'm here to work with you. I'm not here to gossip or get involved in the drama. And you stand tall in your relationship, and you hold for love. You don't hold for the old patterns. You don't hold for the old manipulations. You don't hold for the ways that you hide, or that you try to take care of yourself, or you watch someone else stir things up. You just hold for yourself, and you hold for love. So there's freedom. There's so much freedom when we're anchored in here, and we have this internal structure, and we're now the observer, and we're watching while the world's spinning around outside. So we get out of drama, we get out of reaction, and we get out of feeling out of control. This gives us a little bit of control. My feet are on the ground, I'm breathing, I'm in observation mode, and I'm watching what's going on. And you step into what you need, and you step into what matters to you, and you create a bit of space between you and that chaos outside. So holding structure is complete freedom. So play with it this week. Play with it this week as you go outside and you enjoy. This is our week of mostly summer vacation, whether you have Thursday off for July 4th or you have barbecues going on over the evening. Get outside, watch what's going on, and enjoy your own sense of self, that freedom that comes with it. So my name is Denise Dryden. You can find me on DeniseDrydenCoaching.com if you're interested in learning more about this. And you can also watch all of the rest of the videos that I've been doing over the years. Take care. Have a fabulous beginning of July. Bye-bye.